Welcome to Life Unravel, where we unravel life's little mysteries. Today we're talking about sequencing and time and how important those mathematical concepts are to our everyday life and our children's understanding of the rhythm of the day and the rhythm of life. If you think about it, when they're first born, they're so little, and even at 1, their life experience is so limited. So we really need to help them on their way, understanding how life is all put together, really. So let's have some fun. Let's have a look at it in a little bit more detail. Often people think, how does the rhythm of the day fit in with mathematical concepts? But it's one of the most important parts of time. And time is one of the mathematical concepts that we teach children in their life. Now, I have some great books that I found when my children were little, all about time. And it talked about good morning baby, and it actually had a clock in there. So from a very early age, they were looking at the clocks, they were looking at the time, they were understanding what sort of is happening around. And being able to have those aids and all of those images for the children to look at means that they may not actually be able to tell the time, but they know that that's where they go to find the time. But it's not just about a specific time, it's about the rhythm of the day and what happens. So your child wakes up, and straight away after they wake up, they then get something to eat, or you change their nappy. They'll have something to eat, you'll change their nappy again, you'll have a bit of a play, they'll then go to sleep. And right from the very, very early times of their life, they do have a set sequence in their day. Now what you'll find is that that sequence gets more and more complicated as the children grow, and sometimes you even need timetables and things like that for children to understand what they need to do in the day. But this is really important to their everyday living, and so the more that you can help them understand these sequences and this time means that they can have a much smoother transition into basically not adult life, but childhood life. So let's have a look at some books and games and clocks and calendars that we can have for our kids. I love these books. These books really helped me when I was trying to teach my little ones about the time of the day and a sequencing. So this one says, Good Morning Baby. It says, Good morning, baby. Good morning, toys. Time to get up. Clean teeth for everyone. So as you can see, it actually goes through the steps of the day. You can see that he has eating and does all sorts of different things in the day. And these are the things that my kids used to do. So having a book that went through those and they could learn those sequences was really fantastic. And I'm sure you can find a book that's very similar to this. I got this as part of a pack years and years and years ago, so I'm not sure whether you can get it again. But you can get something that's very, very similar. Another book that I got that I really loved was in the same series, and it's just called Time. The reason I love this is because it has the time of the day, and then it also has what they're actually doing. Now, you could actually make up your own book. Remember I spoke about, in the pre-literacy course, I spoke about making up your own books. You can take photos of your children doing things at different times of the day and then create a clock. And by creating that clock and having the time of the day, then they start to understand that the hands of the clock move, and they're different for different times of the day. Now, I don't expect any of the kids to be able to read an analog clock like that until they're really at school. Although there are some little clever ones that are about 4 years of age can actually read a clock. But mostly it's something that comes when they're around about 6 or 7 years of age. But they can understand the sequence of events and time, how time travels during the day. In the morning it's light, and then the sun goes down at night. We do certain things during the day and we sleep at night. And getting that rhythm of sleep is so important for little ones. They really need their sleep so that they can process what's happening in the day and also recover. Their bodies need that recovery time to grow and to be able to stay healthy. Often people don't understand the importance of sequencing. Now, I have found a few games that my children have played where they have had to sequence events, and they set the cards up so that something will happen first and then next and then something else will happen, so that you actually get a sequence of events. But a really great way of teaching sequencing is, say, something like baking a cake. And you could take pictures of all the different steps of baking a cake, cut them up, and then the children could sequence them in the right event. So you know that you would never put the cake in the oven to start with, you have to mix it first. So you'll put the milk in, put the flour in, the butter in, and mix it all up, and then you would put it into the cake batter into a tin, and then the tin would go into the oven. And that way, by making up those sorts of games, you're helping your kids understand sequencing. Now, sequencing also moves into things like the sequence of the year. We've got summer, autumn, winter, spring, and we don't have spring straight after summer. So there is a sequence, there is an order that these are put in, and that order is very, very important, that the children understand that there is an order that things have to be done in. And this moves into us being able to express to our children the importance of doing things in the right order and being able to have a timetable. And it moves then into time management and concepts like that, which they're not going to have to worry about for a while. But this is the very beginning parts of teaching children how to have time management. So the more that you spend on this when they're very little, the deeper their understanding and the easier it is for them to be able to have time management when they're at school and when they leave school. So who would have guessed that something as simple as teaching kids about sequencing and about time and the rhythm of the day and the months of the year would actually help them in the long term with time management? So now you understand the importance of these skills to children, and the deeper their understanding, the easier the more complex skills such as time management can actually be for them. Thanks for listening today. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next module. Remember to check out Life Unraveled. See ya!